In this episode of the Battlefield Top Plays, we're taking a look at some of the most incredible clips when it comes to blind enemies. You know the situation, you get yourself onto an objective, you're maybe camping a house or looking after a position that your team can push to, and then the enemy team start to advance. They don't see you, even when you start killing them they don't choose to shoot back, some walk past you and then even start reviving their fallen teammates, as you can tell from this first clip that's on screen now. Sometimes it's incredibly funny, and whilst I wouldn't say these are the most skillful clips in the world, some of them are pretty good, but this is an episode mainly here to laugh at bad enemies, blind enemies and players that really should know better. HatemElgamati is going to be playing on Fiel 652, and this is probably the worst clip or best clip, depending how you look at it, in the episode. He's on Bravo objective, the enemy team's in front of him, he's trying to find a way to kill these enemies, but unfortunately he exhausts every single bit of ammo that he's got apart from his pistol. And then he sets to work on seeing how many he can kill before they realise that he's here in the corner. A nice set of kills though. Thanks for sending it in. CrispyToastPop is next up, and he's going to be pulling off one of the most pathetic plays of the episode. Not because of the way he's hiding, although I don't really condone hiding in the corner in any Battlefield game. I think you should be running around looking for kills and not camping. But the enemy players just get progressively worse through this clip. He's sitting here in the corner with a shotgun, he's shooting enemy after enemy, but he's not only killing them instantly, he's shooting them once or twice. They're not even turning around, players are running past him. He's not really that well hidden either, he's hiding behind this sandbag, and players just run past him again and again. He then picks up a very nice 4-piece right at the end of the clip. Now a quick message from the Top Plays sponsors, Instant Gaming. If you're looking for cheap games, especially when it comes to Battlefield games, you can find them for a great deal. The link is in the description down below. You'll also be helping out the channel if you click on that link and buy a game from the website that way. There are some great deals to be had, make sure you go and check it out. MELLOWFLAME is next, playing on Devastation of Rotterdam, a map we see a lot of blind enemies on, and this one is probably the best in the episode when it comes to completely clueless enemy players on Devastation of Rotterdam. He starts out with a couple of nice kills, the MAS 44 doing work at range on Bravo objective. You can see a lot of players across here are just getting completely destroyed. He mops most of them up, slices through the enemy team without too much trouble at all, and then right when I thought the players couldn't get any worse, the clip takes a different turn and enemy players start appearing in front of him. One guy even starts sniping about half a meter in front of him. I can't believe how bad some players are in this game, but if you're in a position like this, it means you get yourself a load of free kills. Check it out.
Lobbing grenade!
Just a few of them left. Attention, we have now taken objective Baker.
Danger! Over there! Explosives being set!
Next up we've got Bleed Blue 911, and this is one of the most pathetic getaway attempts in this episode. There is a vehicle a half track. He's getting shot in the back, and just watch what he does to get away. DeanMerino's next up, Twisted Steel on the bridge, a load of enemy players in front of him. He's in the assault class, it's perfect to take out this tank with a mixture of anti-tank grenades, dynamite and then the Piat launcher. He gets it done. vehicle destroyed. Moving on to a couple of other enemy players who are quite nicely spotted for him. These guys down here didn't really notice the fact that the enemy team behind them, including a tank, has been completely destroyed by a one-man army. No worries, we'll just stay prone. All of them get completely destroyed, a mixture of his primary and the revolver. They're all gone. A very nice clip. Next up, a clip from Eros, or in fact 2 clips. This guy is in my Discord a lot. I do play a lot of Battlefield with him as well. When we jump on BF5, he's usually a guy that's in the Discord channel. Again, you can find that in the description down below if you want to join us at some point. Now, you might think from this clip that he's actually on the defending team on Panzerstorm. He's not. He's on the attacking team. He's driven into the enemy base and they've accepted him as one of their own. There's a guy next to him trying to repair him, and then all of a sudden he realizes that, oh, this is an enemy tank. And Eros goes on a very nice streak, racking up a load of points on these enemy players who he tricked into thinking were on his team. I'm not too sure what the hell is going on here. He's not invisible, he's not cheating. This is just the state of Panzerstorm on, I think it's Breakthrough, some part of the Grand Operations mode. Now, they eventually do find out who he is and then they kill him, but he did this again in another life. And again, he's just showing how easy it is to do in some cases. He takes out an enemy tank, pushes towards them. This time he's in a bigger, stronger tank as opposed to the nippy little Panzer 38T. This one's a little bit stronger. It can take a couple more hits, but it doesn't even matter. This is even worse. As you can tell, as a defender this time, the attackers are running onto his tank. One guy was prone on the roof thinking that this is a friendly tank. It's not the case. He gets himself a load of kills once again, and it really does make me wonder what the hell people are smoking on Battlefield 5. How they can't work out what the difference between a friendly and an enemy tank is. You take spotting away and all hell breaks loose. Next up, it's GreekNax. He's going to be playing on Narvik, and I'm just going to say this is a nice flank with some terrible enemy players. Next up, a head-on 6-man in quick succession from Yals.
I was hoping the fire would deter them. Here they come. There's a crowd.
Hide.
Get your bombs out.
Yeah, maybe you'll survive like 5 of them. Wow, Jesus.
Oh, jeez.
5 of them. One more coming in. Jesus Christ. One more coming in.
Dang, they ended it.
Alright, y'all. That convinced me. I want that mag.
Yeah, dude, it's sick.
SansTheKing's next up. He's playing on Devastation of Rotterdam. He's pushing up the side here on the infamous balcony near the organ, getting himself a couple of kills with some hip-firing action. This is pretty incredible here. I don't really know what I'm watching. Enemy players that forget to shoot, can't aim, I don't really know. Picks up a nice triple as well through the doorway down below. The guys behind him have either been revived or respawned. Still don't know what's going on. He racks up himself a load of kills. A nice little juke around that guy who, to be honest, probably didn't shoot back anyway. Racks up a load of kills before, unfortunately, getting taken out. Moving on, it's TheHyler, I think your name is. Quite an entertaining clip, this one, on Hamada. Check out how he dunks on this enemy player. Define a bad enemy team. Well, we've seen a lot of them in this episode, but one of the most obvious things to do in this game is when someone drops artillery, when someone drops a V1, anything like that, you run out of the building you're camping in. Now maybe you'll get caught by it, as that first guy was, or maybe the second guy, but when it's this many players, all of them camping in the same building, pretty much, you have to wonder what the hell's going through their heads. A nice little kill streak, making use of that pretty strong sector artillery. 5 is next up. A not so catchy name, but a much better clip. Twisted Steel, he's slowly making his way through the sandbags, making use of that smoke as well to cover the side of him. Whether it's his or not, I don't think so, but he's going to use it anyway. But then he decides, well, why don't I just stay here? The enemy team don't seem to see me, and this is exactly what you want to be doing. It appears that the enemy team have forgot to plug their headphones in. They don't know what's happening. They don't really care. By the looks of it, this guy in front of him, I'm not really sure. He's got a load of friends as well. Well, we'll just take them out with the sidearm and rack up a load of kills. Maxeek's next up with the Lee Enfield, and he's got a bit of commentary to this clip as well, which explains it better than I ever could. An absolute disaster from the enemy team. They let themselves down and pretty much give away Alpha objective in the aerodrome.
Damn. What even was that? Oh, they were so blind. That was great.
Hibu's next up, Devastation of Rotterdam, a nice little medic streak this one, using the Suomi KP31. I would suggest that some of these enemy players go back to the training range and hone in on a few of those skills that are necessary in an FPS game, but to be honest, I think it is a lost cause. There's nothing that can be done. Some players just don't have the ability to shoot back. Not sure what it is. Is it a mechanical error? Have they got some problems? Are they using things that just don't really work? Are their controllers broken? Bad internet connections? I don't know. But when it's over 50% of the enemy team getting wrecked, you know there's got to be something in the water. A nice streak though from Hibu. A couple of clips sent in from HuyaTV. His clips are always entertaining. This first one is a 7-man spray down with the Tommy gun on enemy players. To be fair, they didn't really do too much wrong here. There's not a whole lot you can do, apart from the last guy that just goes in for a Rambo revive. Should have really worked out what was happening. The second one is an 11 kill. Again, this has a very nice little flank in it as he pushes through one of the train carriages and gets a whole load of kills with a 1 magazine spray. Makettaja's next. He's playing on a little bit of ground operations, getting himself an objective armed. You've seen this before. It's actually a very effective tactic, and one of the things DICE do need to consider for the next game is making these objectives smaller like MCOMs, because that is the whole point of an objective, to be something that can be easily defended and protected. If you're going to make it larger like this, you really have to make it something like an objective on Conquest, as opposed to a single object that you can camp underneath. You're always going to find things like this being abused in games like Battlefield, especially Battlefield 5, where the visibility is so damn poor, and you can rack up this many kills on players that simply can't see you. A very nice clip though, as it's an objective based one from start to finish. He also did send in another clip, a very similar one again. look how he arms the objective against this clueless enemy team. The rush shot's next up, playing on a game of grand operations, defending the sector from the enemy onslaught on aerodrome. A nice clip this, some very satisfying headshots at the start, and then he gets his range in on a couple of enemies in the distance as well. A whole selection of kills here, a great clip.
Nice, that was good. Very cheeky. Was it teabagging? It was. Boys, let's go, let's go. Come on, push. What the hell is going on, bro? What?
Hawk ZH is next up. He's playing on Twisted Steel, and this is actually a really long flank. He's gone all the way under the bridge, as often you have to do in order to get back over and cap a couple of objectives, and then he sets to work with his STG-44, a load of kills, and some pretty clueless enemies. You'll see towards the end of this clip that they have no ability at all. 1 out of 10 players, unfortunately, and he makes the most of it, getting himself a couple of kills, and then kills them again as they get revived, and he just makes light work of everything. Moving towards the end of the episode, here's a clip sent in from Makavalski. He's going to be playing on Twisted Steel once again, one of the easiest maps to hide on. I really wish DICE would introduce a couple of new maps to this game. I do feel with the top plays as if we're recycling a lot of content. I often see players pushing on this bridge, going prone or hiding behind a broken tank and picking up a load of kills. That's exactly what happens here. Completely blind enemies, very fitting of the episode. Some of them are just trying the same tactic as him, but unfortunately get taken out. A nice clip though. Pretty horrible to watch in places, but nonetheless, a load of kills. Next up, it's TheHypeBoy, picking himself up a few kills here on Rotterdam. As you can tell, he's on this left-hand side, pushing towards Delta, but he's kind of in between objectives here. The enemy team push, and he sprays them all down. It seems as if the enemy team have reaction times similar to DICE when it comes to patching their broken games. Now at first that might seem like quite a harsh criticism, but I have been playing Battlefield for the longest time and sometimes things just aren't fixed. And it really fits in with the state of the player base in some of these clips. Finally, a clip from PeaceX1903. He's going to be playing on Devastation of Rotterdam. It's at the end, it's a slightly longer clip, but some people do enjoy watching this sort of stuff. I don't know how the enemy team don't see him. He's completely invisible for them. One guy at the start nearly does take him out, but from there, it's plain sailing, mowing enemies down, hip firing them, doesn't even need to be incredibly accurate, shooting through smoke. You name it, he does it in order to get a couple of kills. I saw someone run into the smoke there and go for an instant revive. A word of advice for anyone playing this game, and I'm guilty of it too, but always try and smoke before you revive. It makes a world of difference. This is what happens if you're a bit too hasty with your medic Rambo revives. You get taken down, and it's the end of that life for you. Thanks for watching this episode. Remember to check out the sponsors Instant Gaming in the description. The players can also be found down there as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next episode.